after progressing to the knockout stage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Also in the bulletin, we tell you why Lower Manya Krobo and Yilo Krobo municipalities are emerging as key HIV hotspots in the eastern region, with prevalence rates exceeding 4%.
President of the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association warns a planned ban on styrofoam products by January 2027 could plunge Ghana's plastic industry into severe crisis.
On the international front, Burkina Faso's military joins a break of diplomatic ties with France.
Welcome to the program. Spend the next hour with us as we give you details of these headlines and some more news in business and sports as well. We can settle for the details starting from here.
Right, let's begin with the Black Stars, and Ghana's national team may have already secured qualification to the next stage, but tonight's game against Croatia remains crucial as anticipation builds ahead of the match. Football fans are hoping for another fierce performance from the team and a portrayal of readiness as they prepare for the knockouts rounds. Samuel Yabua Adams spoke to a cross-section of the public to find out about the expectations for tonight and beyond.
It's all nice. What they are doing there, we like it, and we pray for them that they should do more, and at the end, we'll come out victorious. But today, match here, we are all out. Vim. Croatia there, if we do score, we'll score like 3-1. 3-1 there, we'll take them. So we pray that today there, Semenyo should do something for me. Any team that come on our way, we are winning them. So don't worry, Ghana, the World Cup is coming home.
I expect, say, the way on ball in England, they should play the same style and then hit them on the counter. At least 2-1.
You know, Blaster, send your mark qualified to the next stage in the year. You say we need a bar. You renew, you now, so quite be asked when I say, yes, show me. Yan shop, yan show me one pet. Now, from Tini, so no one who say yes. Ghana, yes, you dinner quetry.
As for now, the defense are very tight, and then the attackers are very good. But right now, we need the person who is going to score. As for Jordan Ayew, he is very good, but you see, he is slow, a little bit slow. So the next match, I encourage him to be very smart.
Red card and yellow card at yet. I free mama na kabete money ade.
Matese bi mu kaka say ye dodge na enko ye dodge Portugal. Me kanu na ye share Portugal ye be hye no. Ene ye hye Croatia 1-0. Etoso biem. Ghana goal ni beba on the 67th minute.
Goalkeeper no why ade pa. New generation me won say omo ya ade pa. My expectation say ye be winning. Roughly the young 2-0.
As patriotic citizens, we can only wish the Black Stars all the best as we rally behind them. Well, praises and accolades continue to pour in for the Black Stars and the new coach, Carlos Queiroz, following impressive performances in the last two matches against Panama and England. Well, speaking of the key points, experts noted that while defensive discipline has been commendable, the team must focus on scoring goals. With receptions and expectations running high, Ghana faces Croatia tonight.
Score to win. And the little I've seen, even though I commend the coach for whatever he put up against England and ensured our valuable 1 point, I'm still careful because you need to score, and the Black Stars haven't scored apart from
they've scored one.
Yeah, apart from the goal against Panama. I would wish that we beat Croatia, even though we have qualified. Not because anything can happen, but you see, we shouldn't create the impression as if we are there. We are not there. We've scored only one goal.
Myself, thinking through
and being tactical, I believe some of our reserve players must be also tested on the field. If we lose, better for us, because then we're going to go Colombia route, go through I think Sweden before hitting quarterfinals. And if we are beaten, or we are lucky to beat Argentina in quarterfinals, so be it.
When you get to the level of the World Cup, honestly, nobody is interested in playing pretty football. It's strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say, one, now that our qualification is set, we know we are not going to fall back. We need to try other people, build their confidence. Two, we need to do the permutations to know who we are going to meet. If you choose, or if you have to choose between meeting Cristiano Ronaldo, who has a point to prove against Messi and Co, okay, in Portugal,
right,
or meet Colombia, who will you choose?
Maybe going into the game, one person suggested our players should also develop the attitude of protesting more. And that if there was more protest, possibly would have gotten the penalty. Croatia is a very respected team, except that they are coming with a bit more aged players comparatively. And so it should be a dignified outcome. And so if you go in and you concede 4 goals in the name of losing to go and play Colombia, it will be obvious on the face of the pink sheets that this one is problematic.
I think that looking at the psyche and to terrorize them, give them a bit of trauma, I think we should win. I think we should not worry so much more about Portugal, Colombia. I think at this stage where we are, given the losses we had before entering this, a win to consolidate the fact that we are going somewhere is critical.
Well, so the match comes off exactly at 9 p.m. and it will be live on TV3. You want to watch it here and enjoy all that it comes with. Away from the Black Stars, co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, Edem Senanu, says Ghana needs a special court for corruption cases. In his view, this would make the trials of corruption cases very swift and open to all. He spoke on the key points.
Unexplained wealth. We need a proper unexplained wealth law with reverse burden of proof to make it easier for these cases to be run. We need specialized anti-corruption courts. I have seen in other jurisdictions where within 6 months, they are sitting daily, they clear it. So the penal understanding of what will happen to you if you dare decide that you're going to get corrupt, you see it within 6 months. Everybody can see the case has ended. So there are things we need to do, including better resourcing of anti-corruption agencies in general. In addition to talking about the 1 year, because if we do these things, then within the tenure of that government, you will find that anti-corruption agencies can work faster. Otherwise, you can put the 1 year, and beyond the 1 year, there will be cases that we've not yet gotten to the point where we can charge the people, and therefore what do? They move out of jurisdiction, and then we have a problem. We need to strengthen what exists. We need to go beyond that. We need unexplained wealth law with reverse burden of proof, and think through what we need to pull together. Let's say a comprehensive law that pulls these pieces together in a way that allows us to get better results than we have seen so far.
And still on governance-related matters, the CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, Godwin Edigi Tamaklos, accused appointees of former President Nana Akufo-Addo for carrying themselves as though they were above the law. Speaking on key points, he argued that the persons defending the decision of the former finance minister, Kenneth to leave Ghana without subjecting himself to accountability have no conscience.
You see, there are things that at the level of the individual he must do. You see, you cannot wear white to parliament, wear white to church, quote several scriptures, become the principal holder of the public purse, right? And few days to leaving office, your own cousin, the president, says, my chief of staff had given you permission to travel abroad. Now your lawyers come and tell us that May that year, you'll be back from your medical thing. And now your lawyers are celebrating the grant of your green card. And you say we should legislate. What are we legislating? People just don't have conscience. Simple. At the bottom of this conversation is that people simply don't have conscience. People simply feel that this country can be used for whatever it is they want. And they are above accountability. Look, that thing had been created in the minds of some people that we are above the laws of this country. Bottom line. Oh, yes. Why? The people around President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo strongly believe that they are above the laws of this country. If not, we shouldn't be having this conversation, respectfully.
And private legal practitioner Kofi Bento has said that it is important for all appointees to remain in Ghana after a government comes to an end. The vice president of Imani noted that this would make it easier for them to be held accountable for their actions when in office. He also spoke on the key points.
As part of the asset declaration, the people who go and deal with our resources must be required to stay within the country for at least 12 months. When they are not on the seat, they say when the frog dies, you see his length. For other people to check what they've done within the space of 12 months, frankly speaking, is not enough time. But it is enough time to find out if something really terrible has gone on. And you must be in the jurisdiction, because clearly when you leave the jurisdiction, all kinds of complications arise. Now, it can be done very many ways. We can do it with the law. We can do it even with a simple executive order. In fact, the president can make it a requirement. I would say he should add it to the code of conduct. You see, if you are afraid of president, you can say, for everybody who wants a post in my cabinet, you will sign this undertaking that you will not leave till 12 months after you've gone.
To some other stories this evening, and a planned ban on styrofoam products by January 2027 could plunge the country's plastic industry into crisis, according to the president of the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association, Ebo Botwe. But before the ban takes effect, what alternatives are some Ghanaians using in preparedness of the ban? Nura Mohammed explores this further.
In a statement issued on Monday, May 25, the Environmental Protection Authority (EPA) announced that Ghana will officially ban the production, importation, distribution, sale and use of polystyrene foam products from January 1, 2027. Aside the serious health risks associated with the use of plastics and styrofoam in serving hot meals, the environmental consequences are just as dire.
Styrofoam plastics contain what we call polystyrene, which is the primary building block, of which styrene is the main component. And styrene has been shown to have cancer-causing properties, as well as the potential to cause nerve damage and genetic damage. Also, over time, if consumed, especially when used for hot food and oily or fatty foods, it accelerates the leaching process. So it makes the styrene leach faster into the food. And over time, this can cause kidney damage.
According to data from the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ghana produces 1.6 million tons of solid waste annually, which is approximately 4,400 tons daily. This includes both plastic and styrofoam waste. Comfort is a corporate worker, and every day, she carries a bowl from home to buy food. She keeps the bowl in a reusable tote bag.
It's cheaper, so I don't have to pay for the bowl I use.
Comfort shares her fears over the health risks that chemicals from plastics and styrofoam could pose.
I realized that anytime hot food touches the styrofoam, there's this melting thing that goes on in there. I mean, I don't have the technical terms, but where are all the chemicals going to?
Hawa is a water vendor who uses styrofoam, plastics, leaves and bowls to serve her food. For her, bringing a bowl is a better solution.
The best thing is to be on funny bowl and from sometimes a rain season, almost a month in bush, sometimes a dry season, and buying
Meanwhile, the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association has strongly opposed the ban, stating that it would cause severe financial losses to both manufacturers and employees. Ebo Botwe is the president of the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association.
we are not opposing a ban on the styrofoam, but the approach, the timelines are not the best. Our total investment cost is 1.493 billion Ghana cedis. How are we going to get this money to pay the banks? We should get an extension to 1st January 2030. Given 3 years will be enough time for all of us to be able to recover and to reposition ourselves. If governments insist, then we are asking government for a bailout.
The ban is just 6 months away, but the government is yet to provide solutions as well as educate the public about alternatives to the use of styrofoam and plastics. Now, people like Comfort, however, give hope, showing us that Ghanaians can do Sankofa, that is going back to adopting the use of more sustainable ways of packaging our delectable meals. If there is a will, there is a way. Nura Mohammed, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, motorists and commuters along the Takwa to Daman corridor have begun to experience some reprieve following the recent cave-in of a segment of the $27 million Aboso to Dompeso highway. Residents have linked the incident to a disused mining pit that was left behind years ago. Irama Smith has more.
Constructed by Goldfields Ghana in 2019 at a cost of $27 million, the 33-kilometer road provides vital connectivity for residents and commuters across the Pristahuni Valley and Takwa Nsoye municipalities, while also serving as a key link between the western and central regions. However, on Wednesday, June 24, a portion of the Abosu to Bompieso stretch collapsed, a development that dealt a heavy blow to the many motorists and commuters who depend on the route.
How I need the bench and I'm a traffic at because I 1 week. And car into me call to say the air. In Japan's house, no. Penny for us, now, may a day. By was issue is in 3 days. And no multimedia.
Traffic beam. Kaka almost stop paying. 1 hour free. No valuable. Almost 1 hour free. I bought some so almost stop paying for a minute and sana. One more trial.
Residents have alleged that the construction crew encountered an abandoned mining pit left over from years during the construction phase. Though the pit was subsequently filled, locals believe the recent torrential rains played a decisive role in the structural failure.
If you look at the nature of the hole beneath the road, that is what you can say. But it isn't something that I can say was done 10, 15 years ago. No. It's an old adage that has been there for ages. But it's because the first construction that was done, they failed to identify that spot and give it that sort of enforcement. You understand? So that is how come that part of the road, because of this heavy downpour these days and erosion and what have you, is what caused the caving.
Following a swift intervention from Daman Mines, the collapse section was filled within a day, restoring temporary access for commuters and motorists. However, our visit to the site revealed that while the original cave-in has been patched, a neighboring stretch of the road has now developed significant cracks, raising safety concerns for road users. The assembly member for the Bompieso electoral area, Francis Asiedu Mensah, indicated that plans for an alternative route are well advanced.
What they've done now, I think for sure, is a temporary solution. So they are now looking at a more permanent solution for the road. So according to the discussion that we had, they said they're trying to have alternative route for the road users. That is what can enable them to have that space to be able to dig out all the affected parts and fill it with boulders before they put the asphalt on it.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Bompieso, Western Region.
From one concern to the other, in the Lower Menya Krobo and Yellow Krobo municipalities, it has emerged as key HIV hotspots in the eastern region, with prevalence rates exceeding 4%. That is significantly higher than both regional and national figures. Now, health data shows the eastern region's overall HIV prevalence stands at just over 2%, which is also above Ghana's national average of 1.5%, underscoring continued concerns over new infections in parts of the region.
Data from the Eastern Regional HIV/AIDS Directorate indicate that about 45,000 people are currently living with HIV in the Eastern region. New infection stands at 2,018, placing the Eastern region among 3 highest in the country. With a prevalence rate of 2.08%, the region continues to rank above the national average of 1.5%. The Eastern Regional HIV/AIDS Technical Coordinator, Dramani Yakubu, says Lower Manya Krobo and Yellow Krobo municipalities continue to record the highest prevalence rates, both exceeding 4%. He described the situation as worrying and called for urgent action.
Within this region, the Krobo enclave has a higher burden within the Eastern region. So if you look at the Eastern region, the highest burden or the highest prevalence is in the Lower Manya Krobo, which is 4.65%, far higher than the national average and also the Eastern regional average. When it comes to Yellow Krobo is in 4.5%, of which is also very higher than the Eastern regional average of 2.08. So within the Eastern region, the Krobo enclave have a disproportionate impact of HIV than even within the Eastern region itself.
Educationists from the French unit of the Mount Mary College of Education has stepped up awareness creation in the communities with high prevalence rates, with a goal of achieving 0 new infections. Head of the Language Department, Dr. Osmanu Ibrahim, is leading the initiative.
Of a certain number of people, 1 or 2 people may have HIV. Our expectation is that the community, that is Odumasi and then Somanya community, should be 0 HIV. The college that is within this community, we don't expect the students who come here to study may be infested by the HIV. We don't also expect that the youth of these 2 communities are infested by the HIV.
The Eastern Regional HIV/AIDS Technical Coordinator, Dramani Yakubu, says awareness alone is not enough. He stressed the need for intentional behavioral change and stronger resource support to reduce infections in the region.
Donor resources are dwindling. Government should step in and provide the needed resources so that we can move. Currently, we don't have adequate even vehicles to move around. So it's a challenge. Sometimes there are shortages of HIV commodities, maybe reagents, viral load equipment, and even sometimes even some of the medication.
Well, from the Eastern region, let's go to the Ashanti region, where for decades residents in several communities across the region have lived under the threats of river blindness and bilharzia, 2 neglected tropical diseases linked to poor water and sanitation conditions. But a renewed mass drug administration exercise is offering hope, with many residents eagerly embracing the intervention. Ibrahim Bubakar has more in this report.
The streams and rivers that provide water for daily activities in many rural communities also serve as breeding grounds for parasites responsible for river blindness and bilharzia. In communities such as Feyase, Ashirwa, and Apimsu in the Setre East District, residents are no strangers to the devastating effect of the diseases.
The vectors are here, and there are also people out there who harbor the microfilarial worm.
Health authorities have identified 9 districts in the Ashanti region as hotspots for the 2 diseases. Data from the Ghana Health Service show that 160 suspected cases of river blindness and 401 cases of bilharzia were treated in these districts in 2025. To protect vulnerable population and curb further spread, health authorities have launched the mass drug exercise to distribute preventive medication across the affected areas. Community drug distributors are going from house to house, visiting schools and engaging residents in public spaces to ensure no eligible resident is left out.
Ehu say yale no wo mpatam hanum nti say enu maduro na abeboa masa yale no ase atu afri sa mpatam hanum ama obi an so nya ne fa hu ye nya bi su free ensuo na ayenum ensuo say yakwasa yentimi enu mu ansa ene anum nti say enu maduro no na say yale bi ewe ye nipadue ma ebeyi aba obi wo ho na say yi aba bi wa na ne honam no eye ne hene bi wo so na nani bi wo so aberane.
The exercise is targeting Afuano North, Asante Mampo, Ofenso North, Edra Setre Dumase, Setre East, Setre Central, Achumampo Nua, Setre Afram Plains, and Setre Kumewu districts. Years of community sensitization appear to be paying off, with health officials recording high acceptance rates in many of the endemic communities.
Going through some of the books, the acceptance rate is very good, and that is because the health workers and the volunteers themselves who are doing the dosing have done a great job on social mobilization. They've done a great job on education, and the community have seen the importance of it, so the community have come to accept and own the program. We hope that everybody who is eligible for the drug is able to take it.
Health authorities are urging residents in all affected districts to take advantage of the exercise and support efforts to eliminate the diseases. Acceptance of the drugs in endemic communities within the Setre East district remains high, largely due to sustained public education on their role in preventing river blindness and bilharzia. Health officials say the mass drug distribution exercise is one of the most effective strategies in breaking the transmission cycle of these diseases that can lead to blindness, disability, or even loss of life if left untreated. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Setre East, Ashanti region.
And still in medicine, the medical director of the Efiankwanta Regional Hospital, Dr. Habib Ahmed, says the lessons and capacity Ghana built fighting COVID-19 must now become the front line of our Ebola response strategy. He was speaking at an Ebola virus disease simulation in the Western region.
Part of Ghana's preparedness for the possibility of an Ebola virus outbreak, the Ghana Health Service, with the support of the USG Integrated Health Partnership Activity, is undertaking a series of Ebola virus disease simulations across major parts of the country, and the Western region is the latest. The simulation is to assess knowledge and capacity gaps in managing the viral disease. During the desktop simulation exercise at the Efiankwanta Regional Hospital, the medical director, Dr. Habib Ahmed, stated that though Ghana has been successful in managing COVID-19, the Ebola virus presents quite a unique case that would test the resilience of our health system.
The experience we've had from the COVID-19 will have to come to bear with the possibility of another outbreak, Ebola. Ebola can kill maybe even faster than COVID-19. Management of Ebola can be more difficult than COVID-19. So we need to really prepare for this. We don't have to wait. We're lucky we don't have a case in West Africa, but we don't have to wait until we get a case.
Dr. Ahmed is convinced Ghana would succeed in managing an Ebola outbreak if stakeholders revisit and reactivate systems that were deployed to combat the COVID-19 pandemic.
We should go back to what we've been doing during the COVID-19. If we go back to what we've been doing during the COVID-19, we're not going to miss any Ebola coming to the country. Even if it comes into the country, we'll be able to manage it.
Ghana has been on high alert since the outbreak of the Ebola virus in Central and Eastern Africa. So far, there has not been any confirmed case of the disease in the country.
And the Ashanti Regional Directorate of Health Services has raised concern over increasing drug abuse in the region, warning that addiction is becoming a growing public health challenge that demands urgent collective action. Speaking at a media briefing to commemorate World Drug Day in Kumasi, the Regional Director, Dr. Fred Adumako Boateng, urged communities to stop stigmatizing people battling addiction and instead support them to seek treatment and recovery.
Has identified marijuana and the abuse of strong alcoholic beverages as the leading substance abuse problems in the Ashanti region, revealing that 6 out of 10 substance abuse cases are linked to cannabis and alcohol.
Over the past 12 months, our emergency rooms have seen a 30% increase in acute psychosis cases linked to new, cheap synthetic mixtures, popularly called kush or chemical. Most alarming is the falling age of the first-time users. The incidence of drug experimentation among adults aged 12 to 17 in the region has risen by 15% over the last 2 years. This is driven heavily by peer influence and digital supply networks.
Dr. Adumaku Boateng called for the use of technology to strengthen surveillance, improve community reporting, and disrupt drug trafficking networks.
The digital illicit markets, the dark web, encrypted messaging apps, and modern digital payment systems enable traffickers to bypass traditional borders, making it easier for youth to access unregulated drugs. Tech-driven interventions, equipping law enforcement with advanced passenger cargo control programs and forensic technologies to quickly detect synthetic precursors. We urge the Food and Drug Authority and security agencies to intensify surveillance on over-the-counter sales of controlled medications and dismantle local distribution hubs and network. The country and Ashanti region cannot afford to lose its productive workforce to the world drug.
Health authorities believe sustained public education, early intervention, and stronger community partnership will be critical to reversing the rising trend of substance abuse in the Ashanti region.
And now, poor parental care and indiscipline have been identified as major factors contributing to the surge in drug abuse cases among the youth in the Savannah region. Despite efforts by local authorities and other stakeholders in the region, the effects continue to grow, rising and raising concerns. Here's a report by Christopher Mwako.
Drug abuse has become one of the most serious public health and social challenges facing Ghana today. In the Savannah region, the increasing use of substances such as marijuana, tramadol, opioids, also known as Wunim Red, amongst young people have threatened their education, mental health, productivity, and future.
I've had a drug 15 to 50 years now. I've been there, son, to go one hour. Not as in been made. Not been made in the
I used to work as a driver's mate, and anytime we go to Kumasi, I sleep with the station boys, so I learned to smoke and take other substances there. Recent reports indicate growing concern among traditional leaders, educators, health professionals, and security agencies over the rise in substance abuse in communities such as Damango, Bole, and surrounding districts.
Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, we want the youth to know that people who engage in drug abuse, people who engage in all forms of substance abuse, have never progressed in life. Your life and your destiny is in your hand as an individual. If you attach yourself to these drugs, you destroy yourself forever. And that is most unfortunate.
Illegal mining activities in the Bole area, for instance, have been blamed for the high intake of drugs.
And as we are following the events, especially in the trafficking of these illicit substances, where the rules that they pass, I and you do not have immediate information about them. These are people who want to work. They virtually want to work non-stop. And they think that the use of the drugs will enhance that their capacity to do that.
In 2025, the Narcotics Control Commission, NACOC, recorded 217 arrests, 165 prosecutions, and seized over 25.3 million tramadol tablets and intercepted an additional 20.1 million tablets by April 2026. To curb this menace, NACOC has over the period organized sensitization programs in schools and communities to educate young people about the dangers of substance abuse.
Because we have had complaints of incidents of drug abuse in the schools, in our communities. We have people coming to us to tell us, which gives us an indication that the drug situation is becoming serious.
You're watching News 360. We're live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. We have more stories for you, but after this break, stay with us.
Little body, big pose. Little explorer, big discovery. Your little one is eager to do big things. That's why they need big support. Cerelac made with natural grains and milk. Just add a sachet of Cerelac to lukewarm drinking water and enjoy your little one's big moments. Cerelac. This advert is FDA approved.
When malaria strikes your home, it strikes everything.
Conference is not the absence of disagreement, but a strong, trusted system for resolving disagreements before they become crises. This requires transparency and good faith from all actors. I therefore invite organized labor to lead productivity initiatives, innovation, and ethical work culture that confronts absenteeism, lateness, unprofitable forms of bureaucracy, indifference, and corruption in public service.
The Vice President also stressed the need to safeguard the integrity and value of pensions to offer premium benefits to retirees.
Colleagues, if you have any doubt, ask any worker when he goes on pension and all the allowances are removed, ask what is left. So this is a serious matter, and that is why I know you are all on board. Government remains committed to safeguarding the integrity and value of pensions, especially the pension fund assets, for the benefit of the Ghanaian worker. We therefore remain committed to our obligations to SNIT and other two-tier pension schemes. We must also continue to explore ways to accelerate economic growth through measures such as the 24-hour economy policy.
A 3-day conference on the theme Strengthening Industrial Harmony as a Catalyst for Accelerated Economic Growth and National Development brought together key government officials, employers, organized labor, and development partners. In the next 2 days, the conference will serve as a platform where issues affecting Ghana's labor market and the country's socio-economic development are discussed.
Now, the national chairman hopeful for the NPP, Paul Afoko, has called on supporters of the party to put aside their internal divisions and unite for a common purpose. He warned that continuous infighting in the party could further weaken the party's electoral fortunes. A report by Ibrahim Wangara.
Addressing constituency executives in Wa as part of his campaign for the NPP's national chairmanship bid, Paul Afoko attributed the party's declining parliamentary representation to what he described as years of internal exclusion, functionalism, and failure to prioritize party unity. He recalled that during his tenure as national chairman, the NPP secured 169 parliamentary seats before dropping to 137 in the subsequent election, a decline he blamed on the party's decision to sideline some of its own members.
The 169 seats that I left behind for NPP, from 169 to 87. Why? Because we were saying we don't like this man, disqualify him. We don't like this man. Oh, we don't like his face. We want to protect this person. We were not doing the thing power wants.
He pledged to mobilize resources to strengthen the party, recalling that when he first assumed office as national chairman, the NPP had only 1,900 Ghana cedis in its bank account, compelling him to rely on personal resources and support from friends to keep the party running.
So I've come again in opposition, and I can promise you, if you put me in that chair, the money we need to run this party, I'll find it. I'll find it. And it will work for all of us.
Meanwhile, Engineer Francis Adainimo, who led the campaign in the area, noted that the NPP failed to win a single parliamentary seat in the Upper West, Upper East, Volta, and Oti regions, accounting for a combined 53 constituencies, while securing only 5 seats across the Savannah, Bono East, Bono, Western North, and Ahafo regions. He dismissed suggestions that the NPP should not have both a northern flag bearer and a northern national chairman.
In this party, sometimes we have fine arithmetical formula and combination and permutation. Somebody will just sit there and craft something like that. Oh, but you see, we have a northerner as a flag bearer,
Why should we have another Northerner as a national chairman? Then the person will throw that thing into the public domain just like that. But the person knows what he wants to cause. So I am pretty sure that it will be agitating your mind. We have a Northern flag bearer. So can we also have a Northern national chairman? My answer is yes.
News 360 returns with more after this break. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank.
Recognition and support for visual arts, stressing the importance to the growth of Ghana's creative and tourism sectors. Speaking in an interview with Naftali Ba, Paddy noted that visual arts serve as the foundation for many other artistic disciplines, including music, dance, drama, fashion, and design.
Arts exist in many forms and continue to play a crucial role in expressing emotions, preserving culture, and telling stories beyond words. The CEO of the Depadi Arts Gallery, who has spent years promoting visual arts through painting, architecture, and other creative disciplines, expressed concern over what she describes as the limited attention given to visual artists in the country.
If you look at the tourism sector, attention is mostly on music,
drama, you know, that aspect, there is less attention paid on visual arts when it comes to Ghana.
Speaking in an interview with Naftali Ba, Paddy noted that visual art serves as the foundation for many other artistic disciplines, including music, dance, drama, fashion, and design. Paddy further emphasized that investing in visual arts would have a positive impact on the broader creative industry, as many other arts forms draw inspiration from it. She urged stakeholders, policymakers, and industry players to give visual arts the attention and support they deserve to ensure the continued growth of Ghana's creative economy.
One thing that we need to know that the drama, the music, all the arts, they emerged from visual arts. Because if nothing was imagined and nothing was sketched, I don't think that all those things could come to play. Even the dresses we wear, everything, our ways of lives all emerge from visual arts. So I think that should even be the key part of the sector where most attention will be paid, and then it will transfer onto the others.
The Creative Arts Agency, CAA, is set to introduce the Ghana Arts Farm, a new initiative designed to connect creative talent with investors and strengthen Ghana's creative economy. The program forms part of the agency's Grow the Artist in Me project. Scheduled to begin in August, the Ghana Arts Farm will provide a platform for artists, creative entrepreneurs, and investors to collaborate, develop sustainable businesses, and promote growth across the culture, arts, and tourism sectors. According to the CAA, although funding opportunities exist through government agencies, corporate organizations, and international partners, many creatives are unable to access them due to the lack of a structured engagement platform. Acting CEO of the CAA, Gideon Aikwe, said the initiative will give creatives the opportunity to pitch their ideas, showcase their talents, and connect directly with potential investors. The agency believes the Ghana Arts Farm will not only improve access to investment, but also create jobs, encourage innovation, and contribute significantly to the growth of Ghana's creative industry. And some good news there for Ghana's creative industry. We have more after this break. Don't go away.
Step into a universe of pure excitement. Explore a vast variety of games for every taste and discover your favorite way to play. An endless world of entertainment is waiting just for you. 1x Games on 1xBet. A world of games, wherever you are.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gambling can be...
In your arms I'll always stay. Thank you, Mommy. Only place I feel safe. With you I'm never afraid. You chase my darkness away. Thank you, Mom. You're
Foreign Ministry called the decision hostile and unfounded and said it illustrated the troubling drift by the Burkinabe government. France also urged nationals in the country to exercise heightened vigilance. Rescue efforts are continuing for a third day after 2 back-to-back earthquakes struck Venezuela, killing at least 920 and injuring more than 3,360 people. One family is anxiously listening for signs their loved one survived. A newborn baby is among the survivors rescued from the rubble. Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, says she is hopeful that teams will find survivors.
Well, this is where we draw the curtains on News360 this evening, but there's always more news on our website, 3news.com. I'm Noble Crosby Annan.
I am Grace Hamwajiman. Don't forget, Mundial Live comes up immediately, and then at 9 p.m., Ghana is playing Croatia. Crosby, your prediction for this match?
Well, a win for the Black Stars. That's what
a
we're
win
hoping for.
To meet the bigger teams?
Well, we fight what is in front of us first.
Okay.
So
you don't want the Colombia and the others?
If we beat Croatia today, then we'll know what to do with the other teams, one day at a time.
Right. I'm predicting... No, Ghana should just do well, that's all.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.